What's good, people? It's me, you all know me, Blunt Ted. It's another episode from Blunt Ted Talks. It's a bit of a different one. It's not so much about the football on this occasion. This one is more of a Q&A. I put out a video, I think last night or the day before, just asking if people have got any questions. Just drop them into the comments, and yeah, there was quite a few on there. So yeah, that's what this is about. Just gonna explain as well, like a lot of you've not seen me on the channel a lot for the last maybe 2 months, and I think the few uploads that I have done, they've been quite lazy uploads. They've just been little clips that I've took from other places and just very lazily like put up. So anyone that's still here, thank you very much like for staying subscribed. And strangely, like my subscribers went up rather than down like while I was away. So to the new people that's on the channel or on the subscribers list, should I say, thank you very much to you guys as well. If you stick around, like I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, and I promise you, like I'm going to make this stuff improve. I've got like some plans for the channel coming up, some good stuff. I'm going to be changing a few things around, but yeah, any Newcastle fans, like you're gonna enjoy being here still. And even people that don't support Newcastle United, I'm going to try and make this enjoyable for you guys as well. So yeah, like let's get into the questions. There was a few questions from a few people, and a few people had like a couple of questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through these questions in the order that it was posted, and then I'll say who they're from, rather than like just going back and forth, because I'll be honest with you, I can't really be asked to like keep going back and forth. So yeah, like before that as well, who saw my episode of Judge Rinder? Like, did you all see it? If any of you haven't seen it or you don't know about it, you might not have me on Twitter, or you might not have seen the uploads on it or whatever. But yeah, if you go and check out on the ITV Hub the 8th of February, Judge Rinder ITV Hub, and yeah, you'll see me and my mate on there. This is back when I had long hair, so you'll understand it was filmed like quite some time ago. My hair's been quite short for a while now. I was actually growing it originally. There was chance of like being an extra in a movie like coming up. This was before the zombie apocalypse struck, and it increased my chances to have like longer hair, because I'm not going to say what the film was, because there's still an opportunity for that to happen. Once the apocalypse is finished, like film is resuming with that, so there's still an opportunity. Although I don't have any hair anymore, I've cut it short, so they might have to slap me in a wig or something, who knows. But yeah, like I'm just rambling again. So yeah, let's get into the Q&A. It's not just about football and Newcastle. It's about a few bits about me, a few bits about battle rap, which is where I started. If like a few of you might not even realise that's where I started, battle rap. A little bit of stand-up comedy as well. Although like with that, very very early stages, very bottom of the ladder. I was running Grassroots Comedy, which was a stand-up comedy platform. We used to put on stand-up comedy nights I think it was Monday nights. That all flopped as well. That all flopped because of the zombie apocalypse. Zombie apocalypse ruined everything, man. Like, people need to stop eating bats, because I'm trying to get on with my life here, man. So anyway, first question is from James Brown. Like, you might have seen James Brown on the channel before. He's commented on the live streams. As I said before, I don't think it is the James Brown, but it is a James Brown. And yeah, he's been here for a while on this channel, so yeah, thank you very much, James. And your first question would be, what tips would you give someone who inspires to become a battle rapper? Now, just off the top of my head, like the first tip that I would give somebody, first of all, is don't do it, man. But if it is something that you do want to do, like it's not for everybody. Like battle rap is not for everybody, and I'll be honest with you, man, I don't even think it was for me. I did it for 5 years, but in the end it just became a chore, and the negativity that it breeds, like you might think that it doesn't stay with you, it doesn't stay inside, but it does. Like when you're constantly looking for the negative in people rather than the good, like it just makes you a negative person. And I'll be honest, man, it turned me into a right horrible bastard. A lot of people in the battle rap scene, they don't really like me because I speak my mind, and a lot of the time it's negative stuff that I say about people. But I don't want to be that way. That's why I left the battle rap scene. However, if it is something that people want to do and go on and do battle rap, first thing I'll say is make sure you've got a thick skin. because a lot of things will be said. Take into account as well that people are going to say things about family members. People are going to say things about your partner, whether it's your missus or your boyfriend, whether you're a woman or a man, whichever way around. And sometimes you might think, oh, it don't hurt, but you got to remember how those people that are the targets of those jokes, how they might feel as well. If you can get your head around that, and that's fine, that's not a problem. Just make sure that you've got something about you. Make sure that you can write bars. Like, if you can do maths, you can write bars. Like, that's the way to look at it. But yeah, have something about you, like a little. Don't be a clone of like other people. You can take inspiration from people, but if you're gonna like succeed in battle rap and go anywhere, you need to be different, and you need to not be a clone of other people, because it just gets boring. So yeah, that's the battle rap scene. Third one, like, it's quite easy to get into. Like, just pick any. There's leagues out there like Dub Scandal, King of the Ronalds, who I used to work for, put on events for, and then Grassroots. We're not doing battle events anymore once the zombie apocalypse is finished, but there may be something, I don't know. But yeah, it's easy to get into. You just got to find a league and just contact someone that runs it, and it's very easy to get tryouts. It's very easy to get into, and if you're good at it, you'll get more battles, guaranteed. There's people out there in a minute that have come in and have done like 1 or 2 battles, and all of a sudden, they're battling some top people. So it's something. It does have a bit of progression. It's just where you take it from there, So yeah, that's James Brown's first question. Second question: who is my all-time favourite football player? Any club, any country. I mean, it's got to be Alan Shearer, hasn't it, really? It's got to be Alan Shearer. If I'm going to take a biased perspective on it, it's got to be Alan Shearer, the Tyneside hero. If I'm going to go away from Newcastle United, it's got to be Diego Maradona. It's got to be Diego. I know what he did against England, the hand of God, blah, blah, blah. But that aside, the man was a fucking genius. Like, on the football field, he was an absolute genius. I'm just going to light the roll up. It's just a roll up. So yeah, he was a genius. Like, the other goal that he scored in that game, when he just pegged it down the side of the field, and like, he was untouchable, bub. So yeah, Diego Maradona, he would be my non-English and non-Newcastle player. But yeah, other than that, it's got to be Alan Shearer. And I'm just thinking as well, like fan favourites. Do you know, there's like a place in my heart for Faustino Asprilla as well. He wasn't at Newcastle for his whole career, whatever, but the time that he was there, he had some, he played shit a few times, but when he was on his day, the man was an absolute genius. So yeah, there's a place in my heart there for Faustino or Tino, and God, this list could go on. I'm thinking of other names now as well. Now I'm gonna stick with it, Alan Shearer, and then Diego Maradona, and then. I was going to say Gazza as well for like a fan favourite, because like what he could do with the ball in his younger days was just amazing to see. But I'm going to move on from this question, because otherwise I'm going to end up picking out like 20 different players here. Because yeah, Spider-Man, there's another one as well, Gutierrez. He's another one, like not just as a player like with Gutierrez, but as a man. What happened to him at Newcastle, what the club did to him, it was embarrassing, really. But the man's still got love for Newcastle United. So yeah, he's up there, he's up there. There's a few up there. But yeah, I'm going to move on from this question, because as I've said, I'm just going to be here all day. So yeah, that was James Brown. That was James Brown's questions. Lost my light now. See, I should have had all this sorted before I came on the live stream. But look at my eyes, look at them, lot. I'm getting wrinkly. I'm 40 this year. Would you believe that, man? 40. Don't know how I got to the age of 40. Don't know how I made it this far. But yeah, like, age is creeping in now, bags under my eyes. See me on Judge Rinder. If you did see me on Judge Rinder, how clapped out did I look on there, man? I seen like somebody wrote something on Twitter. Yeah, they were just they took the piss, mate. They was on about. Someone said, did I sue my barber on Judge Rinder? Like, it made me laugh, to be honest, man. But yeah, it was a bit of a madness. One thing I need to do is just give me 1 second. I need to unplug these headphones because for some reason. Right, that's mad. They weren't even plugged in. Probably not even going to cut this. Not even going to edit it. I'm just going to leave it in there. But yeah, moving on anyway from Jay's brand. There's a little bit of a ramble there. I might just cut it. I might just leave it in there. So next questions, and there's two as well of these, and it's from Lee Taylor. So which national, international news story shocked you the most? That is a great question, man. Like, I'm guessing, because he didn't specify a time frame on this one, so I'm guessing this could be any time period. There's two that stand out in my mind, really. Princess Diana. When that happened, I was like, I must have been, I don't know, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I was young anyway. By the way, just going to introduce you, because he's obviously sitting here, and a lot of you are probably already just thinking, why is he sitting there with a fucking teddy bear next to him? That's Daddy Bear. It's from your kids. He just sits there, so I can't move him, so he's going to have to stay on the live stream. You've got that behind you as well. I think his name is Peely. It's from that Fortnite game. Your kids play that as well. That's I think it was Lacey's or Oscar's. It's one of the kids. They've left it here. But yeah, that's Peely. But yeah, Princess Diana. Like, when that happened, I remember it was a Sunday morning. I remember being in bed. This is how I know I was young, because it was my dad that came into my room and woke me up on a Sunday morning saying Princess Diana's died in a car crash. And it was a bit mad, because like at that time she was in the press quite a lot. Lots of photos she just recently got with, I think his name, Dodi Al Fayed, which was Muhammad Al Fayed's son. And a lot of, I think there was topless shots of Princess Diana on a boat that came out. And I'm not going to go into the politics of it all, because it's not a conspiracy channel and all this blah blah blah. We all know the politics behind it and what what's been said about it. But yeah, it was just mad, like, seeing that. And then I think it was like a week later or something, flipping Mother Teresa of Calcutta, she went as well. I was a bit mad. But I think the number one that probably sticks out in my mind the most had to be 9/11. I was living down south at the time. My sister had a shop in Brighton making baseball caps, personalised baseball caps, and she asked if I wanted to go and work for her, so I did. And I remember on this particular day, I'd come out of, because I was living with this bird, and I'd come out of mine and gone to work, and I'd been at work for, it must have been about 10 minutes. I'd opened up the shop. It had been open about 10 minutes or something, and the phone rang, and it was my sister, and she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I've just opened up the shop, just getting everything set out. And she's like, right, close the shop and get yourself to the nearest cafe, bar, restaurant, or place that's got a television set. And she just hung up the phone, right? And this was back, we had mobile phones and stuff, but there was, the internet on them was flipping terrible. Like, you couldn't really Google things on your phone. There was no internet in the shop or nothing, so I didn't know what was going on. So I ran, I closed the shop, I shut it all up, and I ran over to Charlie's Bar, which, if you know Brighton at all, Charlie's Bar, if you don't know Brighton, in fact, Charlie's Bar was a hotel on the corner. If you've seen the film Quadrophenia, Charlie's Bar is the place where they run into in Brighton just at the start of the riot, when they're like, yeah, that's that rocker that knocked me off the bike yesterday, and they all run over and they run into that cafe. And the guy rings the old Bill. He's like, oh, there's a fucking mod fight going on in here. That's Charlie's Bar. So anyway, I've gone over there. It's open. And, there's quite a crowd in there. But like all these people that's in there, everybody is around the television set. Literally everyone's around the TV screen. So I've gone to the bar. It's early in the morning. I've got a pint, and I've gone over to the TV screen. Like, all right, what's going on? And they're like, a fucking plane has just flown into the tower, and I think the first tower had collapsed by this point. And the second plane, I don't know if it had been hit yet. I can't remember which way around it was, but I just remember being there and just it was madness. Like, I'll never forget that feeling watching it on the TV screen. It was like just this feeling of just sadness. It was sadness just seeing live in front of your eyes fucking all these people dying, you know, and all these families and all these loved ones, and just seeing it all unfold in front of you. And once again, I'm not going into the politics of it all, because this is not a conspiracy channel. So I'm not going to go into my thoughts on everything beyond that. Just going to talk about what shocked me the most on the news, and yeah, it was that. And yeah, strange turn of events. Like, after that happened, the same day, and my ex-missus, she was working at Sea Life Centre, and she couldn't get out of work road, so she met me at the end of a shift, and we left there, and we went off to do something, and somehow I ended up stood talking to Chris Eubanks. It was a strange experience. That was one of the times that I flipping spoke to Chris Eubanks. If my ex-missus ever sees this, she'll verify this, but yeah, me and Chris Eubanks fucking best mates, man. First time I met Chris Eubanks, he wanted to kick the shit out of me, though, man. But that's another story. Yeah, that's that question, the news story. So, Lee Taylor's next question was, what is more important to you as a YouTuber, views or subscribers? Now, do you know something? Like, this is a funny one, and if I'd have been asked this question, like, I don't know, if I'd been asked this question before Christmas, I would have said to you, subscribers. You see me on my old videos, subscribe to the channel, blah blah blah. You know, and the same with the views as well. You know, it's nice to get the views and it's nice to get the subscribers. But one thing that, because I don't know how many of you know, like, but yeah, since Christmas I had a bit of a like, I've been prone to have breakdowns in the past, and this Christmas was like, it was like so close to it all over again, so close, and I'm only just kind of getting myself back to normality again. But one thing that I've done during that time is I've sat back and I've like looked at the situation, and I've kind of, you know, rethought about my life, etc. And what I realise now is I don't care about the subscribers, and I don't care about the views. Because one thing that I've got here, like, you know, and just, this is what I'm going through, this is where I'm getting my questions from. Like, one thing that I've got here is, alright, there's about 590 subscribers, not all of which are active. But the people that are here all the time and comment all the time, no word of a lie, man. Like, you people have kept me sane for the last year that I've been doing YouTube. Not even a year, 9 months, 10 months that I've been doing YouTube. You've kept me sane. You've given me, because if I was uploading and none of you was commenting, I would have given up a long time ago. It's your comments that it allows me, when, you know, we can't have people around, I can't go and visit people, the pubs are shut, there's no football, or there is football but you can't go and watch it at a stadium. So everything's just been dry. So yeah, this YouTube, it's kept me going. So right now, I don't care whether if I never get another subscriber again on this channel, I don't care. And if I carry on getting 100 views average per video, I don't care. I'm just happy that the people that are on here, that are active and speak all the time, I'm just happy for you guys that you're here, man. You know, it's like, I do it for you guys, really. Do it for myself as well, like I said, to keep myself sane. But if it weren't for you guys, there'd be just no point in doing it whatsoever. You know, that said, anybody who does want to subscribe, then yeah, just go for it, subscribe. But yeah, just try and be active. If you're not going to be active, if you're not going to watch videos and you're not going to talk, and so I want it to be like a little community here. I don't want it to just be, all right, bang, I put up a video and that's it. I want it to be like a community here. You know, I see other channels. Also, go follow as well. Go follow a new channel called Living in London. It's a bit of a crime channel, but the lad that runs it is a sound lad. We're gonna be doing a video at some point soon, hopefully, like we're talking about at the minute. So yeah, like go and subscribe to his channel. Like I said, he's a good lad and he's new and he needs a push. So yeah, go follow. So yeah, that's where it was at. Like he's got his channel like a community, like, you know, people that are commenting and stuff, and that's how I want this channel. You know, I wanna speak to people and get to know people's names, and eventually, do you know what? When I'm putting different things on, events and comedies back and such, I hope to meet up with quite a lot of you as well. Just, you know, just don't punch me. Like if you do see me, if you've not liked any of my opinions over this time, just, you know, like my nose is already. Look at the shape of it. Look at the shape of that. My dad did that. My dad flipping bust that. That's what happens when you're growing up and you're not yet a man, but you think you can take your old man. That's what happens. You end up with a nose like that for the rest of your life. Learned a lesson that day. So I'm not complaining. But yeah, Joe Linton, number 9. So yeah, thanks Lee Taylor for those questions. I'm gonna move on from those. So yeah, Joe Linton 9. Hopefully it's not. Well, not hopefully. Like, be mad if it was. But yeah, it's not the Joe Linton. I don't think. But yeah, Joe Linton 9. This is a hard one. But what is the weirdest thing that I've ever done? Weirdest thing I've ever done. It's a very good question, but I might have to come back to that one because I can't think. What I should have done was gone through these questions first of all and like got some answers in my head, but I didn't. So that one's like stumped me a little bit. What's the weirdest thing that I've ever done? I don't know. Maybe going on Judge Rinder was quite a weird experience, but I wouldn't really call it weird. It was just a bit of a weird experience. The weirdest thing I ever did, probably when I was about. And this, like, people are like, this is probably boring. Like, it's not even that weird really. But when I was about, I don't know, 15, 16. I was down the pub with a few of the lads, and I think it was a mate, AD, or it might have been my cousin. One of them suggested for a pint as well. Like, I had money. It wasn't like I just needed a pint. One of them suggested that because it was a red line and it was a Sunday. There'd been Sunday dinners in there, and the table had like bits of ash on there from back when you could smoke in the pub, and bits of salt and pepper and just table shit that you get in pubs basically. And yeah, someone said scrape that into a line, and if you sniff it like it's cocaine, and I'll buy you a pint. And fucking me as a youth, I was a bit mental, and I just do out for a laugh. I sniffed it, and it was vile, man. Like, imagine like bits of cigarette ash and pepper and salt and all kinds of stuff going down back of your nose. I think I had a bit of a nosebleed as well. That's a bit weird, but that's probably about as weird as it gets. So yeah, who was your sporting idol growing up? That's another question from Joe Linton 9. And you know what? Like, my sporting idol growing up, alright, as an adult, I'd say Alan Shearer, but growing up, and this is going back to sort of what I mentioned before, did I make a coffee, or did I just... No, I didn't make a coffee, I'm an idiot. Yeah, going back to one that I mentioned previously, Paul Gascoigne. I'm probably not the only one that's watching this video, but I mean, Michael Owen did one as well, but you can get in the bin Michael Owen. But Paul Gascoigne was probably the first kind of Paul Gascoigne soccer school that I remember watching. And I think that was Sundays as well. I'm sure that was Sundays, like Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings. And I remember like watching that, and he'd be doing his tricks, and I remember going out on the back garden and trying to practice these tricks and trying to. I remember the the Cruyff turn. I think that was one of the tricks that he showed on there, and I remember trying to master the Cruyff turn. It's like takes me right back. This does takes me right back. But we used to have this border collie called Sally. No, Susie. Sorry, Susie. She was called. And I'd taught this border collie as a kid to sit in goal, and she was flipping like you've never seen a goalkeeper like it. Dubravka, Darlow, eat your heart out. This dog would save hope. But yeah, I used to go out and practice my Paul Gascoigne tricks with the dog. It sounds lonely as fuck, don't it? It sounds lonely as fuck. But yeah, I did. So yeah, Paul Gascoigne. Obviously he was a Geordie lad, and then he'd gone to Spurs, and it was a bit of a heartbreaker. But he was an England man as well, so he's still got that love for him. But and then I remember it was the FA Cup final against Notts Forest. Obviously I live in Nottingham, so I was down the pub with my parents and that, watching the game, Forest versus Spurs. Like pretty much everybody from the estate was down the pub watching it, and yeah, it was just Gazza that I didn't really care about Forest, didn't really care about Spurs, but yeah, Gazza, I remember I think he went off injured. Did he do his leg? Like, did he do his knee or something during that match? During the cup final. I remember it was not long after. I think it was like 91, somewhere around there. It's even 90. No, it was 91. I'm sure it was 91. 91 to 92 season, somewhere around there. But it was right after the World Cup and all the dramas. And yeah, it was just so sad for him, man. But yeah, Paul Gascoigne. Yeah, he was my idol. And to be honest, he still kind of is. I don't know how many of you have seen James English or know who James English is, but he's got a podcast. Go and check it out, James English. And Paul Gascoigne, he did an episode of there recently. It was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, go check that out as well if you've not already. And this is another one from Joe Linton 9. He's put, who or what inspired you to become a battle rapper? Who or what? Do you know what? It was after my mum died. 2012, my mum died, and I was a bit depressed, as you imagine you would be. But my missus, she got pregnant that year as well, later on in the year. But yeah, I just started. I mean, I'd watched a few battles and stuff like over the years, but nothing major. But yeah, after my mum died, I just started watching battle rap loads, and then started talking to this guy Mark, and he was into battle rap as well, and that was it. I just became fucking super hooked on battle rap, and then I went to an event with Mixie, a lad called Mixie, and yeah, I went to this battle event and got talking to a lad there called Youth Oracle, or for any people that's into grime and stuff, you won't know. You might know him as Youth Oracle. That was more his battler name, but his MC name is Vandal, Vandal from Knots. But yeah, I got talking to him and says, "Oh, I'd love to do a battle. It'd be funny as fuck." But I wasn't a rapper or anything like that, so it was never anything that I thought I'd ever get to do. But he says, "Oh, I'm putting on a tryout event. Why don't you try out for it?" I was like, "No, I said that." But then he ended up putting my name down anyway. So I did it against another tryout, someone else that had never battled before, and yeah, from that moment that I did it, I was hooked. And my second round, I choked so badly, I was gone for like 45 seconds or something, trying to remember my shit. But it was just, I had such a great day, like the experience, I was hooked on it from there. So I did a second battle, and then the second battle I won, and it got to my ego a little bit, because a lot of people were saying it was really good. One of my favourite battlers, Pete Cashmore, rest in peace, bless him, man. he judged the battle, and you know, he said some really nice things like, "Oh, he's funny as fuck. I can't wait to see more things from Blunt Ted." And because he was one of my favourite battlers who I'd watched for a while, he was an old man like me as well. Not an old man, but you know, he was older like me. So yeah, I looked up to him, and because he said that, I thought, sod it, I'm going to do a third battle and then a fourth battle, and then I think by the time I finished, I'm like 30 battles deep. You know, and there still might be another battle in me somewhere. Who knows? Never know. So yeah, that's where it went, and then it led on to like comedy and other stuff from there. But yeah, that was the foot in the door. So next question is Rafa Benitez. Once again, it's probably not the Rafa Benitez, but it is a Rafa Benitez. But yeah, you've been commenting on the videos for a while as well, so thank you to you as well, Rafa. And if you are the Rafa Benitez that we all know and love, like, get your ass back to Newcastle, man. Get your ass back. So yeah, Rafa's question is, if you had to pick 3 people to be stranded on a desert island with, who would they be and why? So wow, this is another one that I wish I had thought like more time. I should have looked into this one really, but I'm gonna go with 3 names off top of my head. There's no specifications on dead or alive here either. There's no specifications either. So I'm gonna make up my own rule with this one, and I'm gonna say they can be dead or alive. So the first one is my mum. You know, I'd love to, because the circumstances with my mum, it was a mad one. Like, she had cancer, we knew she was poorly. But then when she actually went, it was quite unexpected. It was quite unexpected. So yeah, my mum would be the first one. Second one, I think John Lennon. You know, I think I'd go John Lennon. Big fan of the Beatles, big fan of John Lennon's music, but I just like what he stood for as well, trying to promote peace and everything else. You know, it's so sad what happened to him, and he was took away from us as well. So yeah, John Lennon will be the second one, and the third one, I'm gonna go with Bob Marley, so I could have a smoke up with him, and it entertained me, man. Like, it's Bob Marley. He can sing, he can play the guitar. You can't fuck with Bob Marley, man. Bob Marley is Bob Marley. So yeah, he's my third choice. So next question from Rafa Benitez is, thoughts about your Judge Rinder experience? I don't know, it's a bit weird, you know, because I don't really get too excited about me being like on TV or anything else. I mean, I don't know if you do, but I was in a documentary as well. It's not been on TV or out yet, but it was filmed like 2-3 years ago. But it got slowed down because of the coronavirus and everything else. But it recently, and when I say recently, I'm talking like 2-3 months ago. Hold on, I just need to get a drink. Right, I'm going to cut this bit out, so this is going to seem like magic. So I'm back. So yeah, sorry about that. I had to go and make a drink. I was literally about to start coughing, so yeah, I had to go and make a drink. I can't remember where I was with that question. So basically, yeah, I was just saying, yeah, I'm not really too bothered that when I'm on TV. I did that. That's it. I remember where I was. Yeah, that documentary, that's not out yet, but it did win an award at Hebden Bridge Film Festival. This is like a few months ago. So yeah, you will be seeing that on TV very, very soon. But yeah, I'm not really that bothered like about being on TV and stuff. Oh yeah, there's something else coming up as well soon. Hopefully, so keep your eyes out for that. So yeah, next question was 1892 Mags. How do you deal with criticism in regards to being a battle rapper and a YouTube? And the answer to that one, it kind of depends on how I'm feeling on that day. some days I'll get criticism and it just won't bother me whatsoever. And then other days somebody will say something and it will just piss me right off. I'm trying hard to not react, and I'm trying hard to just like ignore people's comments and stuff. The old me would have just flew off the handle straight away at every little thing. But yeah, the new me, I'm trying to stay a little bit calmer, but I do have my moments, including even like just a couple of days ago on Facebook. I barely go on Facebook because it's just an absolute dead zone and it's just a horrible place to be. It's probably worse than Twitter, to be honest, Mum. But yeah, like I went on there, I saw a comment and I just reacted to it. And to be honest, have not even logged back onto Facebook since that point to see whether the argument continued, because I just can't be arsed of it. The negativity, it brings me down. So yeah, I just try and not engage with it these days. So next question is from John Richards. There's a few there for John Richards, but the first one was, have you watched the Frank Bruno versus Mike Tyson documentary? If so, what are your thoughts on the documentary? Now, I've not actually seen the Tyson versus Bruno documentary. However, like the Tyson Bruno fights, they were a part of my childhood. I think the second time that Bruno and Tyson fought, I remember being a kid and like I remember getting up in the early hours of the morning and sneaking downstairs, and I couldn't even get it on the TV because I don't think it was either pay-per-view or my parents didn't have it on Sky. I can't remember which one it was, but they didn't have it. But I remember listening to it on the radio, and yeah, it was kind of for me. It was one of the last times that I think, was it Bruno's last fight? I think it may have actually been Bruno's last fight, but it was when boxing was starting to fall off at this point. It was seen like the back end of like Lennox Lewis and Nigel Benn and even Chris Eubanks at this point, and it was just starting to, like, the characters of the support were just starting to disappear from it. But Frank Bruno, like, you know, he's an absolute legend. Like, what happened with him going back probably 10 years, maybe even longer, you know, it's quite sad. Like, he had a bit of a breakdown, and I think there was a story came out, he was sleeping at the bottom of his garden in a boxing ring. So yeah, it was quite sad. So yeah, hopefully Frank Bruno's doing a lot better these days. But it just shows you, like, anyone's prone to it, you know. Boxers, big, strong, tough guys. But yeah, they're prone to like anything, just the same as everybody else. And I guess if you're getting punched in the head for a living so many times, then yeah, it's gonna have an effect after a while. So next question was, what is the best battle rap that you have done and why? And it's probably, like, for me, it's probably not the best battle that I've had, but the one that was probably the most fun was against a lady called Joy France. And if you type into YouTube Joy France nationwide advert, then she'll pop up and you'll instantly recognize her. Her face was everywhere, like all over billboards, cash machines, all over the Nationwide Bank, TV. It was everywhere. She's a poetry star as well. Like, she's she's quite a big poet in the country. She's done a lot of stuff. You know, you've probably seen her on the news. She's done TED Talks as well, like an actual TED Talks or TEDx Talks, I think it was, which is like the second channel. But that was talking about our battle and her experience in battle rap. And the documentary that I mentioned is, you know, it's featuring Joy. It's called Just Joy, the documentary, and it's about her journey with that battle. And it's co-starring myself, Joy France, and then another chap whose name has escaped me from the top of my head. Never actually met him. Like, he was filmed separately. Like, his part was filmed separately. But yeah, look out for it. When it does come out, I'll let everybody know anyway. So yeah, that's probably the best experience. It was just the atmosphere. It was in Coventry. In actual fact, that is the flyer for it there, right behind me. Look, just realised, look, Blunt Ted versus Joy France. Blunt Ted from Nottingham, Joy France from Manchester. I don't know whether you can read that or not, but there it is. That's just a few of the flyers. Obviously, I've done 30 battles, so there's loads more. They need to come down, really, because I don't really do battles anymore. So yeah, there was that one. Yeah, me and Joy, like, we're still good friends till this day. So yeah, shout out Joy if you hear this or watch this. So next questions from John Richards, and Do you think? Do you know what? I'm going to join this up with one of Bella's questions, which is further up. I'll get to Bella shortly, but I'm going to join it up with one of her questions because you both got the same question. But do I think that the takeover will go through, or do I think that it's fake over? I've told myself now that like the takeover is not happening, because if it doesn't happen, that way I won't be disappointed because I will have been expecting it, and if it does happen, then it will be a nice surprise. So I've just convinced myself that it's not happening, and anything from there is a bonus. So that's kind of my heart that's controlling that. But my head, if I was to use my head and use my brain, at the moment politically, everything's a bit. I'm not gonna go into. I'm not even gonna mention the name, because even mentioning the name will probably get the flipping video not took down, but it will probably get it kind of blacklisted or something, so nobody gets to see it. But yeah, politically, it's all a bit mad. With people want answers for the situation that happened, and it kind of indirectly does affect Newcastle United. So politically, yeah, it's a bit mad. So I'm gonna say at this moment, I'm leaning towards no. I don't think it will, but I'm open to have my mind changed if anything does happen. So yeah, that's kind of that one. And if I could attend any football match in Europe, which game would it be? Would that be like, I don't know whether you mean like a past game or a game that's coming up? Because if it was a game that was coming up, I'm going to be honest with you, at this moment in time, I'd go and watch anything. I would literally go and watch anything, man. If I can't get tickets for Newcastle United, which is very unlikely I'm going to get tickets for a Newcastle United game. If there's anybody out there that's got a spare ticket for a Newcastle game at any point, give me a shout. I will take that off you all day long. Cash waiting. But it's unlikely it's going to happen. But I'm probably going to go and watch like a few local teams to Nottingham. I don't support any of them, but it's just nice to go and watch a game of football every now and then. Not Forest, but might go and see County. You've even got Arnold Town. There's a few teams around here that could go and watch. Mansfield. But yeah, right now I'd go and watch any game. If it's any past game, if it's a past game, any game in Europe, it's a game in England, and I would have just loved to have been. In fact, there's two games, the England versus Germany when we smashed Germany, but then there's the 5-0 versus Man United as well. If I could be at that game, if I could be at any game, it would be that game. I'd pick that one, no question. And we're coming towards the end of the questions now. We've just got two left. One is from Steve Bruce. And no, it's probably not the Steve Bruce, but if you are, just going to let you know, you'll see you next Tuesday. Like, get out of our club, mate. But because you're probably not, I'm going to say welcome to the comments and thank you for leaving your question. But your question is, how's the water, did you say? That's the question. How's the water? I think there's a reference to me, Judge Rinder. I get rinsed quite heavily all the time about the way that I say. It's one of them words, like, I don't know how to pronounce it. Because if I say it like my dad and I say water, obviously my dad's northern. My mum, like, she's from Nottingham, so she says water. So if I say water, people will take the piss because it's like, oh, where's the letter T gone? But if I say water, people take the piss as well, so I never know which one to say. So, water is a word that I've been ripped for quite a bit in the past, quite a lot. And when I say quite a lot, I'm talking millions of people. I've talked millions, and I'm talking literal millions on a video that I made about a guy spinning around in a box of water, and the video went viral. It's currently on just under 5 million views, and it's got about 6,000 comments, and of those 6,000 comments, about 40% of those is people taking a piss out of me saying water. So I'll go with water, but then you say water and you get people like Judge Rinder taking the piss. So that's the water. So next question would have been, and it's about takeover, but this is from Bella, but I'll mix that in with the other question as well. So the other question from Bella is, What's the very first thing that I want to do when everything is back to normal one day? There's two versions of this. Like, there's the respectful answer where I say I want to get to a comedy night. I want to get to a football game. I want to go out on a piss. I want to be able to go out with a few mates and have a few drinks and just be normal. But I don't know. Probably the first thing I'm gonna be doing is re-signing up for Plenty of Fish. That's probably the first thing I'm gonna be doing. Because, man, it's been a long year, Mum. It's been a long year. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, realistically, like things that I'm gonna do is I want to put on an event. I want to put on a comedy night, something good. We've got a bunch of comedians that are up for it already that wanna get on. Good lads as well, good lads and lasses that good funny comedians. So whether we do that in Nottingham or I might choose to do something in Newcastle as well, or even both. But I want to get back on stage, Mum. I want to get back on stage. I've got all this material that I've been working on for all of this time, because all the material that I had before coronavirus, I don't feel it's relevant anymore. Or a lot of it's not relevant, or it just feels that old and dated, even though I've not used most of it. But it just feels that old because it was wrote so long ago. But yeah, I've got a bunch of like new stuff as well that I want to try out. Stuff that I'm not going down the route that a lot of comedians will go down and make coronavirus jokes. I don't want to do that because everyone's going to be doing that. So the way I'm going to be doing it is just joking about things that may have happened during lockdown and stuff like that, and taking a different approach to it. Because obviously it is something that people are going to want to hear about and people are going to want to mention, and I can't just ignore the fact that the last year's happened. But yeah, I've got to do it in my way. So yeah, when it does happen, I'm going to be... I mean, someone messaged me the other day, in fact. Someone messaged me the other day saying if I was looking for any bookings in Newcastle, they'll get me sorted out. So yeah, keep your eyes out in Newcastle, because I'm going to be planning to come up quite a bit and do quite a bit of stuff up there. When the football season starts again, probably next season, I've got some other stuff coming up for fans around the Midland area who are willing to travel to Nottingham. I've got some stuff coming up that is going to be absolutely great, and I'm looking forward to loads. So there's that. Yeah, just looking to all the things that was just starting to pick up before coronavirus, things that were happening. There was the movie, alright, it was just an extra. I wasn't going to have like a main part or anything, but it was a foot in the door. There was an advert for Findus that was meant to happen. What else was there? There was so much stuff. There's a TV program which still, like, it's kind of, it's being discussed at the minute. I can't really talk about it, but it's looking like that might happen. So yeah, I'm just looking to like hit it all again properly and get back into it. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Like, I'm just looking down at the time now. I can't believe I've actually been doing this Q&A for, well, it says 51 minutes, but on yours it's probably going to say like 46, 47 minutes, because I went away and made a coffee in that time as well. But I'm going to cut that little bit out. So yeah, anybody if you're still here, if you're still watching, right, if you're still watching this video, type the word Mike Ashley is a knacker. Type the words plural, Mike Ashley is a knacker into the comments if you're still watching. I want to see how many people made it to the end of this video. Yeah, you know what? It's actually been quite fun. It's been quite fun. I've enjoyed doing this. So I may do another one in the future with a little bit more planning. I didn't think I'd go on for this long, but yeah, I did. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody that's like put questions in there. I've not missed any out, I don't think. I think I've got to all the questions. So yeah, thank you to all you lads and lasses that have put those in there. Thank you to anyone that's stayed till the end. Thank you to anyone that's subscribed. I'm coming up to my first year on YouTube very soon, and I'm gobsmacked that I'm still getting traffic. So yeah, thank you very much to you guys. Any advice as well? I I think it's about, I can't remember what it was. Last time I checked, it was about 11%, but not sure what it is now. But before, yeah, about 11% of my subscribers are female. So if any of you know, because I know, like, I'm not saying this in a sexist way, but I know you women know a thing about cucumbers, and no, when I say cucumbers, alright. No, fuck it, I'm leaving it in, I'm not even editing it out. When I say cucumbers, I'm talking about cutting them and putting them over your eyes to make them not do that. Don't know what they call that. I think it may be crow's feet. That right there is that one. That's a crow's foot. That is, man. Look at that. Getting old, man. Any advice from any of you? Then just let me know. I'd be most grateful for that, because yeah, I look clapped. Age is catching up with me finally. 40 this year, man. But anyway, that's it. The end of the video. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to chop that little bit out and I'm going to throw it up. As I mentioned before, go check out Living in London. I'll put the link to his channel below. Yeah, we're going to be doing something soon, hopefully. It's going to require like the restrictions to be lifted slightly, because we live in different cities. But yeah, we should have something coming up soon. Even if it's just one video. If you like it, we might do another one, so who knows. But yeah, go subscribe to his channel. Go show him some love. And thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. It's been Blunt Ted. Another episode from Blunt Ted Talks. See you on the next one. Peace.